What a phenomenal presenter. This particular young man, he has a inspirational, motivational coffee shop call that takes place on the same line you dialed in on each and every Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you get an opportunity as a leader to be poured into on a weekly basis. So you want to make sure you're connected. And of course, Mrs. Kiana Crump on each and every Saturday. Listen, guys, there's nothing but power couples here, and these leaders are actually in the field getting it done. Mrs. Kiana Crump hosts and organizes the Women of Inspire call that takes place each and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you want to make sure you're connected to that. And what can we say about our Global Director of Sales, Mr. Damon Coleman, just a relationship specialist in regards to making sure he does not leave any one person without some source of communication to them and building of a rapport and relationship. Mr. Damon Coleman, with his extensive schedule and everything that he does, he still gets out there each and every Monday night and provide a platform for the institutional training call where we get nothing but the best of the best pouring back in to the Inspire Nation. It's also at this time, it's time for us to get started. Once again, it's Sean Robinson, the voice here with the Inspire Network. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this particular vision casting call with Dr. Tyrone Malloy will be the special guest. I just want to position you, open up your mindset to understand what the vision is here with the Inspire Network. Inspire is a global company that produces amazing, high-quality products using cutting-edge technology, all while remaining committed to providing life-changing opportunities to all of our partners and customers, and demonstrating the highest levels of integrity and character. Well, at this time, I want to get right to it. I want to, first of all, let you guys know that you are definitely picked a very, very great time to dial in to 641-552-9090 because we have none other than Dr. Tyrone Malloy, MD, the founder of Soapstone Center and Clinical Research, incorporated for 16 years, board-certified OB/GYN physician in Decatur, Georgia, for 36 years. Dr. Tyrone Malloy has been a principal investigator in more than 100 clinical trials related to women's healthcare. Dr. Malloy also trained at Johns Hopkins University, where he received his medical degree. Dr. Malloy also did his internship and residency at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center and adjunct professor in the Department of OB/GYN at the Emory University School of Medicine. It gives me great honor to introduce on this historical call tonight, guys, none other than Dr. Tyrone Malloy. Have you made it onto the call?
Mr. Robinson, yes, I have.
Wow, well,
thank you.
Go ahead, take it away.
No, I was going to say, first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And it's an honor to be able to address so many people who have a concern and interest in improving the health care of women. As you mentioned, yes, I started Soapstone Center for Clinical Research about 16 years ago. And being an OB/GYN doctor, I decided, obviously, to focus my attention on clinical research related to women's health care. And a lot of the testimonials that we've heard from women who've used the Cherish pad, it made me feel great to know that they achieved those results in the same issues that I would be seeing in my practice. So and I try to tell people, it's not that Inspire Network came up with something new. They just understood the need. They understood the problems that women were having and no one else was addressing. So I'm honored to be affiliated, with Inspire Network and the mission of Now We Know. So I admire our CEO, Mr. Spencer Iverson, and the rest of the executive and consultant team to establish this mission. I want to spend some time speaking about the three main ingredients that we show on our package, and I speak at the focus groups, and I try to address those particular ingredients because I know that we're always questioned about, well, what is, far technology or far infrared? What are negative ions? What's nano silver? And, we can speak in generalities, but, we are a company. We are a movement. So we need to be able to understand how these things really help, how they work together. And so that when we hear the testimonials rather, okay, we can say, well, that's the reason. Okay, it's not a placebo effect. It's not for just saying that. There is a reason why her menstrual cycles are shorter. There's a reason why her menstrual cramps are less. There's a reason why she feels better than she felt before. So it's important to understand how these things work. Now, the algae strip that's on the pad, it's nanotechnology. Nano just means nothing more than a small particle, a billionth of a particle. So the technology has been around where they can take particles and impregnate fabrics or tissues with it and then have them actively produce the effects that you want. So again, that's nothing new. Okay, so what has happened with our pad, this algae strip has impregnated in it negative ions, far infrared, and nano silver. So let's talk about each one. Now, I'm going to spend probably more time speaking about the negative ions because there's so much research on that, okay, with respect to benefit of the body, much more than we simply talking about the vitamins of the air, which is definitely the vitamins of the air. But let's understand why. First of all, a negative ion is nothing but a molecule, okay? And molecules are invisible. Molecules make up everything that we are, everything that we eat, everything that we touch are made up of molecules. A negative ion is nothing but a molecule that happens to have an extra electron. So this don't even have to worry about that word electron. It has something extra on that molecule that when it combines with something that's lacking, it neutralizes it. So what the negative ions do, okay, they actually enter the body, okay, and they give the body a sense of well-being because they increase things like oxygenation to the body. And we all know that oxygen is the element that is needed for us to feel better. We know that when we talk about how we feel better around beaches, we feel better on the waterfalls, okay, it's because water has the ability, okay, to increase the negative ion production. We artificially do this when we take a shower. When we take a shower, the reason why we feel good is because that water has actually increased the negative ions in that environment, and that's what gives us that sense of feeling good. The fact that we don't sometimes want to get out of the shower, but we know we have to because we have to go to work. Now, in certain environments, like in the city, okay, the reason why we feel, let's say, more uptight, or as we now know, a lot of road rage, is because not that there is a lack of negative ions, since it's natural, but there's an overabundance of positive ions. Now, this is important for us to understand. Positive ions, okay, will come from things like your monitor screen of your laptop or your PC. It'll come from your cell phone. It'll come from air conditioning. It comes from wherever there is a excess of electricity. It produces positive ions. Also, cigarette smoke, pet odors, again, positive ions. This is why at the end of a day at work, and you're feeling a little tired, you're feeling fatigued, you're feeling a little like, God, I'm just worn out, it's because you've been sitting in front of this instrument that's been bombarding you with positive ions, making you feel almost depressed. Okay, so therefore, negative ions are needed to neutralize those positive ions to make you feel better. This is why you have ionizers. Ionizers are known to produce these negative ions, and by producing the negative ions, it then provides the medical and health benefits that are necessary. You find ionizers in places like hospitals. They'll be in the operating room. They'll be in the recovery room. They'll be in the ICU. You want to make sure that any sort of circulation is improved. In addition, those 4 areas are probably going to have more of your instruments, your equipment that's producing a lot of positive ions. So the ionizers that are in those particular rooms are helping to neutralize those positive ions and therefore eliminating the negative aspects and at the same time benefiting the healing qualities of the negative ions. We also, what we have to think about is what can we do on a daily basis? Okay, we can, like the laptops, I tell some of my patients, if you're going to be at a laptop all day, they actually sell little ionizers that you can actually plug into your laptop, okay, that will neutralize some of those positive ions. But the most important aspect is that we know that negative ions are beneficial. We know they penetrate in through the skin and they help to make the body heal better. Now, what I mean by that, when you hear testimonials of patients saying that their cycles are shorter or they have less cramp, okay, there's a factual basis behind that. When you think about what is a menstrual cycle, it's important for people to understand this too. I know I have a lot of people who probably know, but there are some people who just know that there's some bleeding for a certain number of days. Let's break it down what happens in a menstrual cycle. The lining of the uterus is such that it is trying to prepare itself for a fertilized egg. If that woman does not become pregnant, okay, 14 days after she ovulates, the lining isn't necessary. If the lining isn't necessary, it breaks down, okay, and it goes away. Now, in that breaking down and repairing itself, okay, it's a healing process. So if you have something that's increasing the ability to heal, which is what negative ions do, that would justify and explain why people will say that they've noticed their cycles are shorter because the lining is healed faster. They'll talk about the cramps are less, okay, and the reason the cramps are less because there is this impact, okay, on what we know are prostaglandins, which is just another word of chemical that actually causes women to have contractions. It causes them to have cramps. So we have something, okay, that's going into the body to actually help with the healing process. And in addition, another aspect of negative ions is that bacteria, there's aerobic bacteria and anaerobic. All that really means is bacteria that needs oxygen to survive, and there's bacteria that does not need oxygen. Matter of fact, it survives in the absence of oxygen. Well, anaerobic bacteria, okay, are bacteria mainly the ones that will cause a lot of your odors. Okay, so what negative ions do, it actually fights your anaerobic bacteria. So in addition to oxygenating the tissues, it's also acting as an antibacterial. And we'll talk more about that when I speak about the nanosilver. But so the negative ion has so many benefits, okay, that's the reason why the testimonials you hear people talk about, you say, well, how can a pad, cut down somebody's cycle? How can a pad cut down someone's cramp? Well, it's because of its actual, what it's doing when it enters the body with respect to the tissues. They did a study, okay, showing that the well-being is improved with negative ions. They, in Columbia University, was treating depression. They took some individuals that they were given a low emission amount of negative ions, and some individuals they were given a high amount of negative ions. And they noticed that those individuals, okay, who received the highest dose of negative ions, their antidepressant effect was equivalent to someone taking Prozac. So the negative ions, and that's why I talk about it first, it has such a broad benefit to the body that it's important for us to understand that it's essential that we feel and know what it's doing, because that is the area that people have questions about, and you can be able to say to them, hey, the reason why you feel so much better on this pad, that's one of the reasons. The negative ions that's on that, impregnated on that algae strip. And they've done other things like they They looked at negative ions cutting down inflammation. So it's something that is good, and it's been shown to work hand in hand with the next thing I want to talk about, and that is the far infrared. Now, far infrared is nothing more than a segment, okay, of the wavelength from the sun that has energy that can penetrate into the body. It's almost like a thermal. It's like a thermal radiation, and what that does is we know for a fact that thermal radiation, okay, will cause detoxification. It increases the blood flow. This is why when you think about it, sometimes when someone has a sprain, they'll take a heating pad and put the heating pad on a certain part of the body. What you're really trying to do is increase the circulation to that part of the body, because you know that it's going to give an anti-inflammatory type effect. So it increases the blood flow to a particular area. So it also, we know that the far infrared, it will boost your immune system. It cuts down muscle spasms. It has an anti-inflammatory effect, very similar to that of a negative ion. So that's why they work hand in hand. Now, the aspect of far infrared that's important to understand is, take, for instance, palm heat. Okay, each person, we all have this ability, okay, to emit this particular radiation to another person. And you hear people talk about palm healing or putting your hands on someone. That is what's actually happening. You actually send this energy force into the tissues of another person. And in doing that, you have increased oxygen to those tissues, and therefore it aids in the healing, or depending on if it's a sore, if it's a wound, if it's a sprain, you are enabling the body to actually improve its healing qualities just by the energy from your body to another. They've done studies showing using this particular therapy. They put it on blankets, okay, to improve people's sleep quality. Women who had decreased milk production, okay, from breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed, they've noticed that if they could put this type of therapy, it will help with the breast production of milk. They've given it to people. They put it in impregnated gloves to treat arthritis. They even used it on belts for weight reduction, diabetic peripheral neuropathy. There are a lot of places where this therapy has been beneficial. The reason I say that, because I don't want anyone to walk away from this thinking that our particular pad has something that research has been supported for years. This is nothing new. What's new is someone has taken these modalities and put it into a pad, okay, said, look, here's what we're going to do to make the person feel better. We know that it has great, we know the benefits of the pad. That's not an issue. So you're getting these other health benefits that aren't even something that you may have thought about when you decided to get a particular pad. So it's important for us to understand where it's coming from. We know that the reason why it also helps, okay, with the menstrual cramps is that we know that prostaglandins, okay, and that's why people take aspirin. You take aspirin for menstrual cramps, okay, or Motrin. Those particular drugs, what they do is they decrease the production of prostaglandins, okay, and prostaglandins will cause uterine contractions, and this is what gives people their menstrual cramps. So we know that this particular technology, the far infrared, it reduces the prostaglandin production. And so because of that, this is why it has this benefit as far as discomfort. Okay, also, we notice that will increase the circulation. You know, we all know that healing is based on circulation. So if you have something that's going to increase the oxygenation to a tissue, it's going to enable that tissue to heal better. And this is why people will mention that they've noticed that even using know a lot of times when we say radiation, we're immediately thinking of X-rays and whether or not you're getting something that. No, we're talking natural radiation to the body, and that's important to understand that. And we know that it also one of the aspects that we're talking about its chemical benefits. We know that it decreases. Okay, by decreasing the prostaglandin production. Okay, the cramps. Okay, that we are associated. Okay, with our cycle. We know that is going to be benefited. So it's easy. Sometimes a lot of people get a little confused when they're speaking about the far infrared technology, but it's something that's been around. It's nothing new, and they use it in a lot of other areas. So it's important for us when we're speaking to either friends or we're speaking in sessions or we're speaking in meetings. It's interesting. It's important for them for you to say it's nothing new. This is nothing new. It's just something that we, with the Cherish Pad, we have incorporated to help women feel better in addition to giving them something that is a better product. Okay, last thing I want to spend a little time on is the nano silver. Now, the nano silver is something that has been known, okay, for centuries. They noted that silver was an element that when it was used as an instrument for food, that people who used silver implements had less GI problems, let's say, than people who were using wood or their hands, whatever they had to consume their food with. Okay, we know that it is a powerful antimicrobial, a powerful anti-infective. Matter of fact, if you have a burn, okay, and you go to a burn unit, one of the first things they do is they put silverdene ointment on those burns because they know that it will benefit and treat almost any type of microbial that could delay the healing of that skin. So we know that it can be used in catheters, stents, Band-Aids, like I said, wound dressing. So they don't know for sure exactly how it exerts that effect, but they know that it does. And nano silver, again, it's nothing that's new. It's something that has been. They know that when you apply it to the body, it's going to cut down the bacteria and it's going to cut down the viruses and any infective elements on the vulva. And this is why people who use the pad will note that they're noticing decreased odors. Okay, they're noting that they're not having some of the irritation, okay, that the other pads may have caused, because they know that this nano silver, being an anti-infective agent, is benefiting that aspect. So those three qualities, or those three ingredients, okay, in our Cherish Pad is like I call it the icing on the cake. It's adding to a woman's well-being in addition to us having just a better pad. Okay, we know that. I don't have to even talk about that. We know it's a better absorbent pad. We know it's a better effective pad. But at the same time, we're improving the health benefits of a lot of our women by having this algae strip impregnated with these three ingredients. I thank you for listening.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Tyrone Malloy. Here on to the special vision casting call. I told everyone prior in the day that history will be made once again onto this vision casting call. And I'm telling you, I definitely want to just let you know right now that what you just did was allow the belief system of so many other individuals that have already partnered up with the Inspire Network to now be able to have this as a rebroadcast tool for educational purposes. We're not saying that those that are new, that you're going to get onto any type of communication in our platform and be able to regurgitate and reveal the same type of formalities, wording, pronounced and enunciations the way Dr. Tyrone Malloy has done. However, we are letting you know that you have partnered up with the best. You want to make sure you get back to the person that invited you here on to the Vision Casting Call, because we want you to take an opportunity to make sure that you position yourself to get in front of something that is phenomenal. We also want to encourage everyone, before we bring the call to a close, each and every Wednesday night, make sure you dial in to 641-552-9090 to hear from none other than our CEO, Mr. Spencer Iverson, who does a weekly communication to make sure that we are connected and updated with everything All Inspire on a public platform. Well, guys, this is our time here on To the Call. It is very obvious that we will hear from Dr. Tyrone Malloy again on this platform, or maybe on our institutional training call. But I want to say at this time, take care, God bless, and always be inspired.